Gests galgaard pesia pisen kuskelio, pisen gelaard, pisen medlis, pisen kusig, pis kusigword. Yetlwa putti il stjadmen spqani. El skept. Lekest ut usum flus etlem keks is getsti keksen tgeni. Utlut nest hui yelle o stachule esum imkhpami yel khoilksa esum khpami kutkutunt lusum khop wa nakhliu kaks is getsti keksen tgeni ulu alt isui utlaka atskhentam plus etlem klemei puti tas ges kwakwaal tsiu u etlentluke ilmikhum khwanemel tsilchsta umka umsitskek is getst kent keinem jos schnell ne putel kwaput chwatstel khnut el tsilchsta umka etnet nestra katlan e. Good day, everyone. It's still in the month of April, but as I was coming here to Pablo, started to snow just north of Ronan, and as farther north I came, the more it snowed. It's snowing pretty heavy out there, big flakes. We were going to have our bitterroot dig tomorrow and our feast, but the weather report wasn't favorable. It was going to be too chilly, too cold. And we did check the bitterroot last week, and there weren't very many, and they were small, and it was just as if they hadn't had enough warmth to grow. So those who take care of the bitterroot dig and setting the date for the bitterroot dig decided that maybe Friday would be a better day on May the 1st. So we will leave the longhouse at around 9:30 to go to Camas Prairie. So that's when our bitterroot feast will be, May the 1st. After the blessing of the bitterroot and all of our traditional foods, then you can dig the bitterroot at any time after that. But we ask that you please not dig bitterroot until after it has been blessed, to ensure that all our traditional foods will be plentiful. This picture is Stiatleman, which is already bloomed. That's why they call April Stiatleman. Stiatleman. Also at the same time, yellow bells, which are called kauche. Kauche. They are plentiful and in bloom. At this time, just before time for the bitterroot comes out, we call sunflower. And scientifically or whatever, they're called or arrowhead balsam root, balsam flowers. As most of us know who live in this region, the stalks, the stems of these flowers are eaten for food. At the end of this week will be start of a new month. Spetlam Spkani. Spetlam Spkanis. That's the bitterroot month. Most of the time during this month, the bitterroot will be growing, and maybe towards the middle is when it'll bloom. We all know that before it blooms is the best time to dig the roots. After it has bloomed, the roots are no more good because then they will be too hard to peel. The outer layer of the roots will be too hard to peel off. The roots will turn tough and kind of woody. I'd like to also say that the old people or our ancestors call Spetlam, our first visitor, as Shiikas Chitsten, because they're only here for a short time and then they're gone, as with a lot of our growing things. They start out and they're here for a little while and something else takes its place. But our traditional foods were not, and our medicines were not all found in one place. The people had to travel and set up their villages in different areas for the different plants and foods. That's why they traveled a lot over to the plains, where of course the buffalo was our main food, the kwai kwai. There probably were plants and different foods over there that was gathered at the same time. They traveled around and everything was not in one place. Also, there was a season for everything. Like right now, it's the roots and the bulbs. And in June, around June, the camas flowers will bloom, and when those blooms fall off, then the bulbs will be about right to dig for itwe. This is the camas bulbs are baked in the ground to make itwe, which is the baked bulbs. And other bulbs and plants or moss will be baked along with it, and these foods will be preserved and saved for the winter months. Then will come the berries along about the end of June, the 1st of July. The sluck or the service berries will become ripe. They are picked and preserved and used with other foods for the winter. And wild strawberries, oh, those little berries are tiny, but they are so sweet and tasty. And then the stisha, the huckleberries. The huckleberries is a much sought after berry, wild, nutritious, not anyone we know has been successful in growing these in a garden, like you would find raspberries or blackberries or blueberries, which is a close cousin of stisha. Then will come the choke cherries, about in the middle, towards the end of August into September. Those berries are picked and pounded and then dried for the winter. When cooked in broth or water, they make a tasty soup, berry soup. The people used a lot of these foods together, like for instance, sluck was used along with deer broth to cook the spetlam in. The sluck sweetened the spetlam a little bit. And then after the is the elderberries. Of course, there's others that are not too well known that were used, and most of these are what I know about. So these all have their own season. Not everything grows and ripens at the same time or in the same place. That's why we have our circle of seasons that we followed in order to get all we needed from the land. And we had to travel to get a lot of it. So that was our cycle, why the seasons are important to us. We go from season to season for different things in order to survive. And ancestors worked hard, but they had their own way of doing things, and that's how they survived. We can only try to follow in their footsteps as much as possible. And it was said long ago, before there were suyapis, that the Salish Pend people were very healthy. Their food was pure. There were no additives. There were no chemicals. Everything was from the earth. All our foods and our plants, our medicines, was from the earth. The earth was pure, the water was pure, the air was pure. And so the people who used all of that was pure. And we can only try to follow in their footsteps. And nowadays it is said that the foods that you grow, the foods that are out there, are full of nutrients. They fight cancer, they fight heart disease, they fight all kinds of sicknesses. And so if we follow in the footsteps of our ancestors more and more, we're bound to become healthier. So many of our people have cancer. So many of them have to have heavy chemicals to fight that cancer. It's been proven that when you go back to a healthy way of eating, healthy way of life with no chemicals, that's a good cancer fighter. So just a little bit of talk from the ancestors. their way of life, which was very healthy. Hopefully we can get some of that health back by following them. Okay, back to our seasons. Right now we're in Skept, the springtime. Skept, springtime. Saansk, the season coming up. Saansk. St'e, the fall or autumn. S'istch, winter. It's like winter outside. S'istch. Would like to take a little break here. We'll be right back.
There is a dangerous storm we must watch for. The storm is stroke. If you notice or experience these sudden warning signs, call 911 immediately. Numbness or weakness of the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side of the body. Loss of vision, speech, or understanding. Trouble walking or dizziness. Sudden severe headache or confusion.
Preserve our nation.
Know the signs and watch for the storm. You could save a life.
Is our ancestors. Is our ancestors. Ahot is a parent. Ahot. Ahot is our parents. Ahot. Could also mean someone who's old, up there in age. Ahot. That's the elders, the elderly people. To review family. The females call their mothers toom. If they want to say my mother, they say een toom. The females call their fathers mestum. And if they want to say my father, they say een mestum. The males call their mothers skui. If a guy wants to say my mother, he would say iskui. And males call their fathers idl'eo. When they want to say my father, they say inidl'eo. There's E and een. You just use the I, the E, before a word that starts with the S sound. E-skui, for instance. E-skui. and use "een" with other words. "Een tomb." "Een tomb." A guy would call, or a gal would call her younger brother "Sisente." "Sisente." A guy would call his older brother "Ketsch." "Ketsch." A young or a lady would call her older brother "Skakse." "Skakse." Or "Sinkusih." And two shortened words for "Skakse" would be "ska." She might address her or call her older brother "Inska." "Inska." Or if it's a little girl, she might call her older brother "Kaka." "Kaka." "Inkaka." And a guy would call his younger brother "Sinse." "Sinse." He might say, for my younger brother, he might say "I Sinse." "I Sinse." Both male and female call their older sisters "Chiche." "Chiche." And then they could shorten it to "Chi." "Chi." They might say, for my older sister, they might say "Inchiche." "Inchiche." Or "Inchi." "Inchi." And a little kid could say "Chi Chi." They might address their older sisters by their pet word "Chi Chi." "In Chi Chi." The guys and the gals call their younger sister "Tsu." "Tsu." "In Tsu." And guys only call their sisters or their female first cousins "Susum-e." "Susum-e." And yaya, we all know the term for mother's mother. Yaya. Kids have a way of changing it a little bit. They might say yaya or yai, but it's yaya. "In yaya." And the yaya might call her grandkids, her daughter's kids, that term also, yaya. Yaya. Sile is the term for mother's father. Sile. Sile. I sile. Kene. Kene. Father's mother. Kene. In Kene. Kene can call her son's children Kene also. And that goes the same with Sile. The mother's father could call his daughter's children Sile. Scheppe. Father's father. Scheppe. I scheppe. And of course, Scheppe can call his son's children Scheppe also. That's a kind of a closeness. These family terms are, it shows the closeness of families. And Sulchatlacht. Sulchatlacht, that's friends. Friends. One friend is Sitlacht. Sitlacht. If a person wants to say my friends, they could say Isilchatlacht. Isilchatlacht. Or for one friend, Isilchatlacht. And then sometimes it's Isla. The human beings. Skalkalich. Skalkalich. Or for one, it's skalich. Lemlemch. Lluchod Ptswihui Quas Atstchi El Salish Language Kmeep Schas Ketluchtuat et Chen. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again sometime. And we hope that you will all stay well and be happy. Lem lem chest schat